Kymco's X-Town scooters combine a low price with what is necessary for driving. No more and no less. We have tested the new Kymco X-Town CT300i and describe our impressions here. The new 2023 model costs €4,749 including the transfer, making it significantly cheaper than competitors from Yamaha or Honda, for example. The scooter is available in blue and black. He looks chic and bigger than he really is. It is a typical comfort city scooter that you can move nimbly around the city, but which also allows enough amenities for tours for two. Thanks to the very comfortable seat and the generous handles for the front passenger, even longer tours are no problem. The X-Town CT300 is still not a real 300. The displacement of the liquid-cooled single-cylinder engine is 276 cubic centimeters. In the course of efforts to reduce emissions, the performance has suffered somewhat. 18 kilowatts / 24.5 horsepower / became 16.8 kilowatts / 22.9 horsepower. The maximum torque also dropped slightly from 25 to 24 Newton meters. For both values, moderately higher speeds are required than before. However, the top speed of 117 km per hour has remained the same. According to the speedometer, we reached 130 km per hour, with the rev counter showing a tight 8,000 RPM, i.e. 500 tours above nominal power. The vibrations of the single cylinder were perceptible, but they didn't really bother us. How, in general, the engine running can be described as very comfortable overall. Above all, the engine start seems almost elegant to us. The scooter is quiet and simply feels good. Even in its new CT version, the X-Town is not suitable as a speed king. After all, it continues to be the entry-level model in Kymco's mid-range scooter world. But thanks to the good tuning of the variators, the performance is sufficient for easy swimming in traffic, even when driving in pairs. We find the chassis comfortable, without sponginess. That's why curves can be rounded quickly and safely, and even larger lean angles do not diminish the driver's well-being. The two-disc brakes decelerate well. The ABS regulates sufficiently finely and quickly if necessary. Even with the new addition of the X-Town, lightweight construction was not part of the developer's specifications. The curb weight, which has been reduced by 2 kg to 198 kg, is the result of a smaller front wheel and the reduction in the size of the tank, which now holds 10.5 liters instead of the previous 13. The range does not suffer significantly from this, because consumption has been reduced considerably. Instead of 3.5 to 5.3 liters, we now got 100 kilometers with 2.8 to 3.3 liters of gasoline. However, it must be E5 quality. E10 fuel is not permitted. A sticker on the fuel cap warns against its use. The design of the two-valve engine, which is as good as it is old, apparently places certain basic requirements. The most significant difference when driving is the seating position. It is much more upright because there is now a free passage in the footwell and the rider's lower legs are therefore vertical. Because the wheelbase is also shorter and the front wheel has shrunk from 14 to 13 inches in diameter, the X-Town CT300i feels a little more agile than the previous model. Kymco's equipment philosophy has not changed. As an entry-level model in the 300 cubic centimeters classes, it only offers what is necessary for driving. Between the rev counter and speedometer, both analog instruments with round scales, there is a small LC display in which the time and ambient temperature as well as the mileage or the daily mileage and the onboard voltage can be seen. In addition, the engine temperature and fuel supply are displayed by means of bar charts. Unfortunately, the cockpit instruments are very reflective in the blazing sun, but otherwise the scales are easy to read. Instead of 2 storage compartments in the front apron, there is only one, and the underseat storage space, brightly lit as before, has also become smaller, but there is still room for a full-blown helmet and some small items, which is practical. The X-Town can also score points in terms of wind and weather protection. The windshield is sufficiently large without causing major turbulence on the driver's helmet. The protective function of the leg trim meets the usual class requirements. As usual, the seat lock is unlocked on the ignition/steering lock, and Kymco only gives its more expensive models a keyless system. But many scooter riders see this system as superfluous bells and whistles anyway. The new body with the pretty position lights in the style of a daytime running illumination is pleasing to the eye. The very wide rear light is even a real eye-catcher. The front of the vehicle also appears fresh and modern. Together with the already mentioned free passage, this is progress all along the line. Because the chassis works more smoothly than on the previous model, our list of defects on the Kymco X-Town CT300i has become quite short. We miss a turn signal stapler as a reminder to reset, and the short filler neck also makes refueling more difficult. You have to be very careful with the nozzle. In view of the still very low price, the X-Town CT300i costs €4,399 without transfer and has thus become only €100 more expensive compared to 2017. This is whining at a high level. All in all, riding this successful scooter is a pleasure to ride because of its simplicity, balance, and driving comfort.